Okay. So, starting with today's class, that is the some kind of the knowledge already theoretical concept we have gathered so far regarding the fuzzy composition, fuzzy relations as well, and fuzzy extensions also. But there is a certain areas where from where we are going to expect some kind of numerical problems or some kind of definition regarding some kind of theorem as well and techniques as well under the topic fuzzy composition and fuzzy implication. Now fuzzy implication is a new area, so going before that I would like to address that all of us till now we have all of us know about the fuzzy max-min composition, right? Because this is a very popular composition and we have also done a few numerical problems as well. But in case if you are going through the previous semester question papers, I have studied some kind of question papers like what we have in the year of 2017 or 2018. Then I have noticed that there are a certain kind of problems that are coming regarding composition and implications, and obviously there is a certain relation between the fuzzy relation as well. There are certain kind of numerical sums which are which has a tendency to appear in the semester exam. So basically on that based on that note, basically I would like to address two few more composition techniques which may appear um, along with this fuzzy max-min composition. As we all know that this is a fuzzy max-min composition is the most popular one composition which is very much widely accepted and widely applied. But along with this max-min composition there are a little bit less popular composition which is called fuzzy max product composition. So can you remember what we have done in max-min composition? Because we have a kind of for your convenience I have written something about max-min composition, because this is, you can see that this has come in the year of 2018. That is why I have studied the semester question paper, and I have found that there is a kind of numerical problem which has been appearing over there to solve a kind of to solve by a Cartesian product, to solve by max mean composition, to solve by max product composition. So today's class is going to highlight all these, the area which may appear along with the what we have done so far. So basically I would like to recapitulate the max min composition, what we have done or what we did in the previous class whenever our college is going. Basically, this max min composition, this is the max min operator, as you can remember what we have already studied. That if we have two kinds of, relational matrix, suppose one relational matrix is denoted by R, another is A. So automatically, the new evolved relational matrix after performing this max-min composition may be defined by T. Let us define by T. And obviously there, this particular matrix involves the linguistic variables of X and Z automatically, because we have a kind of, two matrices which is of having order of X cross Y and Y cross Z. So both Y's are common. So basically whatever be the resultant matrix, that will be of course the order of X cross Z, right? That we already know. So basically here this max-min composition is denoted in this manner, and obviously by computational sense of from the computational sense, how we can we can compute this max-min composition. Basically what we did is we did the minimum of these two matrices, and then we are going to perform the max, obviously. So that is why we are telling this particular composition as max-min composition. Why I have told this in today's class again? Because I'm going to, draw your attention on max product composition. That way, in which manner this max product composition is different from max min composition what we did here. As the name suggests, you can see this is the max product composition. So automatically by the computational aspects, what you can see is there is a max term, I mean outside the bracket, and automatically here basically we are going to perform the product operation. That means the we are going to simple multiplying those two value, those two membership value, which basically we are obtaining from xz matrix and obvious, I mean xy matrix, and obviously the yz matrix. So this is what max product composition is. If you want to learn what how this max product composition is going to take place, we will show you one example. But before going that, another thing which we need to know is what is that particular thing. That particular thing is sometimes you are you will be told to write about classical relation. Now, what about classical relation? We know that this kind of, max mean relation, max mean composition, max product composition, as I mean, till now. But what about the classical relations? Classical relations is nothing but to perform the Cartesian product of two different fuzzy sets. Now, let's say we have two different fuzzy sets. One is set A, another is set B. And automatically this fuzzy Cartesian product is nothing but, the product form of, I mean, product between the, components which we are having in fuzzy set A and fuzzy set B. And by applying, I mean, by performing this Cartesian product, whatever be the matrix we are getting, that is nothing but, one kind of fuzzy relationship between this fuzzy set A and B. And this fuzzy relation is also called is classical relation. Now let us have an example that we have one particular fuzzy set A and fuzzy set B. Why I am telling all these things again, I need to recapitulate that this is is coming in the year of 2018, and still this is a 2020. So that is why we cannot leave any stone unturned. We have to cover each and every area which has a possibility to appear in the semester exam, or which has a possibility and which has the track record for appearing in the previous semester exams. So this is, suppose this is not the exam, I mean this is not the particular example which we had in the previous syllabus, I mean previous semester question paper, but we have taken one particular problem after seeing the particular questions that has come in the previous question paper, and we will be also solving those numerical sums also in future. So basically what I am going to I'm going to try to show you that if we have two kinds of this kinds of fuzzy sets, and you can know, I mean till now we all know that a fuzzy set can be represented by the membership, degree of membership, oblique the linguistic variable, comma, or summation plus, and obviously in this manner. So basically we can we can see that the linguistic variables that are associated with the fuzzy set A are basically three, that is three in number, x1, x2, and x3. And automatically the linguistic variables those are associated with the fuzzy set B, those are two in number, right? Because those are y1 and y2. Now, if you are told to compute R equal to simple A cross B, that means you are basically told to compute the Cartesian product, or you are told to basically to determine the classical relation between these two fuzzy sets. Any of them, any of these two terminology may appear. Either you are being told to determine the Cartesian product, or you are being told to determine the classical relation. Fine. So any one of these two may appear. So if you are going to see these kind of numerical problems, then what you can do is you can compute this thing and finally you can write this answer. I have written this only to to make you understand what basically the process I usually follow in the class as well. So basically what happens that you have three linguistic variables from set A and you have two linguistic variables from set B. So basically, whenever you are going to perform A cross B, that means this A, basically the linguistic variables are now basically used to form the rows of the new evolved relational matrix, and automatically the linguistic variables that are associated with the second matrix, that is the matrix B, basically those linguistic variables will be used to create the columns of the new evolved matrix, right? So basically that is why I have shown you that this is how that particular new evolved matrix will look, right? So basically we can expect six terms like this. Now, we have to find out all those six terms. Now the how the calculation is going to be followed, because this is a Cartesian product, this is a classical relationship. So basically what you need to do is you need to only find out the minimum of this. That means if you are going to find out the parameter or the term, I mean, associating with the x1, y1 position. So basically, x1 is coming from the first matrix, that is matrix A. I mean, first set, you can say that is fuzzy set A, and y1 is coming from the second fuzzy set, that is fuzzy set B. So basically, you are going to take the degree of membership for x1 and degree of membership from y1. So obviously, degree of membership of x1 from set A, degree of membership of Y1 from set B, and automatically you need to compute the minimum of these two membership functions, which will give you the term which is associated with the x1, y1 position. So if I go back, then you can see that the degree of membership which is associated with x1 is 0.3, whereas the membership value associated with y1 is basically 0.4. So basically we are going to take this 0.3 and 0.4 and we are going to compute the minimum of this 0.3 and 0.4, which will give you 0. So similarly, whenever you are going to compute the x1, y2 position, so automatically again you need to follow the same rule. That means you are going to perform the minimum operation and you are going to take the degree of membership associated with x1 from set A and the degree of membership associated with y2 from set B. So basically x1 is having membership value of 0.3, whereas y2 is having the membership value of 0.9. So we will get the minimum between this 0.3 and 0.9 is 0.3. So similarly, in this manner, we can, find out the remaining four terms as well. And these are given here, that whenever we are going to perform minimum between these two, minimum between, x2 and y2, minimum between x3 and y1, minimum between x3 and y2, this will give us this 0.4, 0.7, 0.4 and 0.9. So basically now by computing all these six terms, now we have got the Cartesian product, which is nothing but a matrix. So automatically this is a relational matrix between fuzzy set A and B, and automatically this particular fuzzy relation is also known as classical relations. And you can see that we have just put all these new membership values of the degree of membership for the particular matrix position in this order, and we will have a matrix like this. So this is your final matrix after performing the Cartesian product, or after determining the classical relation between two given fuzzy sets. First, tell me whether this particular problem is clear to you or not. The classical program, that is, or classical, the relation or Cartesian product is understood for all. Okay. So there is not any kind of query question. So can I move forward? Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, in the semester exam, also can we expect a similar kind of questions or some high level questions will be there?
No, I mean, till the class will be end in the semester, you will be prepared for any kind of questions that you are expecting in the semester exam, because I'm going to, thoroughly, extensively, solving all the question, all the typical type of questions that are basically, coming in the semester, in the previous semester as well. So basically, and also, I mean, I'm going to, exercise with all of you a number of, a huge number of, numerical problems which may appear or which may have a certain, I mean, a very small connection with what we have, learned so far. So basically, by the time the semester will be, in the front of us, so I hope we all are very much prepared, at least by the looks, by the types, by the, formation of the problems, already what we are going to do in this coming 1 or 2 months, and obviously what we did in the previous months as well. So that is for
Okay.
sure from my side.
Okay. Thank you.
So this particular thing is basically, coming in the year of 2018, this particular type of question, because you in the particular that particular semester question, I will also, give those semester previous semester questions papers as well, so that it will be easy for you, to look at those particular questions, that how kind of what are the type of questions you can expect in the semester exam. So here, basically, in the year of 2018, there are a particular, sum. I mean, I'm coming to, one by one, that in that particular sum, the students are told to basically compute one this Cartesian product, one, I mean, with a similar sum, right? With a similar sum, the number one is to compute the Cartesian product. The number two is to compute the max-min composition. The number three is to compute the max product composition. So that is why I am going to, address these, areas which are quite, which can be quite, trendy for the semester, examination. So this is how the particular, classical relations or, Cartesian product can be, computed. Now coming to the this part, max product composition, right? So max product composition is obviously understood by the theoretical aspect, what we have written over here. So we have learned by far that we are going to, compute the product, that means the multiplication straight away here inside the bracket, and automatically after multiplication we need to, extract the maximum between these terms. So how are going to, we are going to, compute this whenever the numerical problems is coming. Now suppose we are having two fuzzy relations, that means two fuzzy matrix, obviously. So here in the question, you are going to expect that obtain fuzzy relation by max product composition. By max product composition. Now what happens that whenever you have these two kind of, fuzzy relations, so automatically what happened that here also, what I have also, mentioned while we were doing in the max mean composition, right? What we have told, I mean, in that particular class as well, that we are going to, first of find what is the order of the given matrices. Obviously, the order of the first matrix is 2 cross 2. The order of the second matrix is 2 cross 3. So automatically, these first order, we know that, I mean, if this is the, the formation of the order, as far as the matrix theory or matrix notation concerned, the first one denotes the row number, second one denotes the column number. So basically here also, obviously after this particular composition, we know that these column number of the first matrix must be the similar with the row number of the second matrix, so that the new matrix will involve the row number of the first matrix as well as the column number of the second matrix, so that the resultant matrix will be of 2 cross 3 order, right? So if this is the case, then what I always, follow that automatically you should keep in your mind that the new resultant matrix look how. So automatically, if you can set, I mean, a particular point that this is how your new resultant matrix will look like. So automatically you are so sure that what particular, parameters you are going to extract from the given matrix to compute the particular term of the new evolved matrix. So basically, this is how your new matrix will look. So automatically you have to find this x1, z1, this x1, z2, this x1, z3, and also x2, z1, x2, z2, and x2, z3. So automatically, whenever we are going to compute this x1, z1, degree of membership, automatically this parameter. So what we need to do is we need to compute the max product composition. So basically, this is how we are going to write that max of, x1, z1. So how we are getting x1, z1? We are having the relationship between x1, y1 and x1, y2, and obviously this y1, z1, y1, z2, y1, z3, and also with y2 as well. So whenever we have x1 and z1, that means x1 and z1. So automatically x1 means what? x1 means, I mean, we need to consider the whole row, and obviously we are having the z1. Z1 means what? Z1 means we have to consider the whole column as well. Fine. So that is why we are going to write it down that max of mu r x1 y1 product of y1 z1. That means x1 y1, this degree of membership, multiplied by y1 z1, this term. Fine. This is one thing. This is one term. This is one term. Fine. This is one product. Comma. We have another product as well. Why? Because we have another column here. I mean, for x1 we have another term. For z1 we have another term. So again, we are going to again compute the same. I mean, in similar case, in similar manner, x1 y2. Whatever be the case, multiplied by y1, I mean y2 z1, y2 z1, because we are going to take this particular z1 column, y2 z1, that means the 0.8, and that is why we are going to write here that max of mu r, you can see here as well, max of mu r x1 z1, I mean x1 y1 and y1 z1, x1 y1 and y1 z1, these two things, and comma mu r, that means the membership function also related to x1 y2, that means x1 y2 as well as y2 z1, that means y2 z, so that you are having two product terms. That means one is x1 y1 is having 0.6, y1 z1 is having 1. That is why you are getting, I mean, some kind of multiplying solution between this 0.6 and 1, and automatically from here as well you will be having x1 y2 which is 0.3, and you will be having y2 z1 which means 0.8, that means 0.8, 0.3 and 0.8, which will give you two product terms. One is 0.6 and another is 0.24. And now you are going to, extract the max from these two numbers, which is nothing but 0.6. So in this manner, what we are going to see is whenever we are going to compute x1, z1, since we don't have the direct relationship or direct matrix between x and z variable, we need to compute this new matrix which will have the z variables and x variables, but we have one matrix of x variables and y variables and one matrix of y variables and z variables. We need to take this particular things in such a manner so that we are going to take the x1 y1 and y1 z1, so that this y1 y1 will be cancelled out and we will be having x1 z1, and again we are having x1 y2 and y2 z1, so that this y2 y2 will be cancelled out and we are having x1 and z1 as well. So basically, this is how you are going to compute the max product, composition. So if this is the case, can we look at the next particular term whenever we are going to find out? So next particular term we are going to expect, this is x1 z2. So what can it be? So whenever we are going to find out x1 and z2, we need to go back what we have here. We have two terms related to x1, that is y1 and y2. That means we need to consider this 0.61 and 0.3 also once. And obviously with z2 we are having this y1 and y2 terms like 0.5 and 0.4. Okay, so whenever this particular Zoom session will be completed, since we have less than 1 minute, I'm going to again, turning this Zoom session with the following link so that we can continue. Okay. So this is the x1, and obviously we will have this for this x1 y2. That means x1 z2, x1 and where is x1? X1 and z2. We will be taking consideration these two values as well as these two values. So what we need to do is we need to find out what is the membership function of x1 y1, which is 0.6, and what is y1 z2, which is 0.5, so that this y1 will be cancelled out and we will be having x1 z2. And